Gabriela on the scene today with Talk Network Radio. We have a real treat for you just around the corner, and that is Empowered Living with Jeff Byrd. Jeff is the owner of Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, and he will be coming to you weekly to teach you more about empowered living.
Hello and welcome. This is Jeff Byrd with Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, and this is Empowered Living. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we're going to be looking at a topic that I think many of us can identify with or we've struggled with at some point, and that is the topic of perfectionism. Perfectionism. Now, this came to my mind recently because last week I ran into a young man and he admitted that, hey, I'm struggling with perfectionism. I'm a perfectionist. I'm very competitive. I don't like sharing things about myself with other people. I don't want them to know who I really am. I want to be on top and win and look good and, be in that place. And, as he shared this, I really appreciated his honesty. And I thought, boy, can't a lot of us feel that way? It's like, we've got to win. We've got to be on top. Everything's a competition, and we think other people are always ahead of us and they don't have any struggles and we're trying to get there and we're trying to win and feel good about ourselves. And I started thinking about that and I thought, well, perfectionism really has some deep roots. It really doesn't have so much to do with trying to be perfect as it does the feeling that we're very much not perfect. We try so hard because we're fighting a belief that we are afraid might be true, that we're not enough, that we don't have enough. We don't have what it takes. We don't measure up. We're not as good as those other people. And it's those fears, those beliefs, those messages that come to us that keep us trying so hard and trying to be perfect and trying to get everything just right. And it's a tough way to go. We fear being exposed. We fear that people will say, aha, I always knew it. You're not enough. You don't have what it takes. And that we'll be exposed and that people will see that and go, oh, ha, ha, ha. They'll laugh at us and they'll reject us. And everybody will know that, hey, we're just that one that didn't have what it took, that just wasn't enough. And I think that those lies get ingrained in us often from a very young age. We feel like we don't measure up. We feel like we don't have what it takes. We're not lovable enough. We're not whatever it is enough. We're not enough. Not enough of this, not enough of that, not enough of the other. And I think some of the symptoms, it puts this huge pressure on us. I remember years ago there was a health spa up at near my house, and it was called the European Health Spa, and on the top of it was a huge statue of Atlas, the Greek mythological god Atlas, carrying the world on his shoulders. And that's what people wanted to be. They wanted to be so strong that they could carry the world on their shoulders like Atlas. But I'm like, whoo, that's a big burden. I don't want to carry the world on my shoulders. That's a huge weight to bear. But yet a lot of us feel like we have to do that. That's what we need to do in order to be perfect. And a friend once told me, he said, hey, you remind me of that statue of Atlas up there at the health spa carrying the world on its shoulders. You're just bearing the weight of the world. And we were never meant to do that. We hear on the inside, there's that sense, that constant voice of a taskmaster that's always saying, you've got to be perfect. You don't want to be exposed. You don't measure up. You haven't done enough. No matter what you've done, it's not enough. You can't relax. You should never relax without feeling guilty. And those things all are a deep rooted sense of rejection. And that's, I think, what we fear the most. I know that can be a very, very harsh thing from personal experience, the feelings of rejection. And, I can go back to them and just think about them and get in that same spot that we were and feel the same things we felt. And, we feel that rejection, but it's not the truth. That's the problem. It's not the truth. So I want to share with you, if anybody else struggles with this like I have and like a number of folks I know have, and we're recovering perfectionists, there's a few things I want to give you that we can do that will help. And I asked this young man, when I heard him sharing this information, I said, well, so when you feel like you failed, what do you do to talk yourself or get yourself out of that? And he pointed to an older mentor across the table and said, I go talk to her. And I thought, wow, that's brilliant. And I thought, when we're feeling like we're rejected and we don't measure up and we haven't done well enough, we're feeling that sense of self-rejection. And then when we talk to somebody else and share with them our struggle, and they go, no, that's not normal. You're trying, you're working it, you're learning, you're advancing, you're developing. And then they speak the words of encouragement or whatever it happens to be that we need to hear. They bring that to us. But what happens is they replace that sense of rejection with a sense of acceptance. And that's what I realized with this man. When he goes and when he shares with this other woman and she accepts him, she helps talk him through. She helps coach him and mentor him and cheer for him and help move him forward. And I thought, well, that's a great thing. She was able to replace that sense of self-rejection with a sense of acceptance. And so it's like, okay, I can accept myself because she accepts me and I can keep moving forward. So it's important to have those voices in our lives, of those other people that we can share with and that we can be open and be real with and talk about, wow, I don't know how I'm doing on this. I don't think I did so well. I don't think I'm doing so well. I'm really afraid of this. I'm nervous about this. Whatever's really going on, we can talk to them and they will be that accepting voice for us. Another thing we need to do is to be gentle with ourselves. Be gentle with ourselves. A mentor of mine once said that if we talk to other people the way we often talk to ourselves, we'd all be in jail because we'd be arrested for abuse. But is be gentle with ourselves. Be gentle with the way we talk about ourselves. Hey, we're learning, we're growing. We were born with a lot of challenges. We made a lot of mistakes, absolutely. And but we're learning and we're recovering and we're growing, and we need to be that merciful voice to ourselves as well, and to realize that, hey, perfection is a false illusion. I had a friend that used to go to AA, and she told me that one of the things that they said there is never compare your inner reality to somebody else's outward appearance. And, our social media and the various things we see on TV, there's such an illusion. They looks like everybody's just got it together, and they don't. That when you really get to know them, they're struggling with the same things you are. This perfection, the only thing that really matters is that they keep believing, they hold the vision, and they keep moving forward despite these things. And they have to work through them just like you do and just like I do. And that perfection is a false illusion. And I was wondering the other day, I was looking at Facebook, and I saw some folks on there that look like, boy, just happy winners. They just look like they got it all together and never have a problem. And I thought, I bet some of my pictures look like that too. And that's often really not the way I feel at all. If you only knew. And I thought, wow, I wonder if we all posted a picture about what we really feel like, what Facebook would look like that's different than what it looks like, right? So if you feel that way, if you feel everybody else is just doing great and you're not, please don't believe that. We are all in this. We are all struggling through. We are all finding our way. We are all in need of encouragement. And that brings me to the last one. And I was reading in the Bible in John chapter 10 the other day. It was brought to my attention, and it's talking about the good shepherd. The good shepherd. And he's the one who leads. He's the one who calls. He's the one who goes in front and sets the direction. The sheep, all they do is they know his voice and they listen to him and they follow him. They don't have to figure everything out. They're just following the shepherd. He's the one that's figured it out. But, I was really struck with the fact that they know his voice. They know his voice. And I looked that up, and it can mean a tone or a dialect. And I thought, wow, what's the tone then of the good shepherd? We have a lot of people posing to be shepherds, but not all the voices are so good. You wonder how some people ever got to the position that they got to over other people. And it's certainly not a tone or a dialect that's good. And, I thought about there's a passage where Jesus describes himself, and he doesn't do it very often. But this one time, which was the most prominent, he says, I'm gentle and humble in heart. He says, come to me, all you who are weary and are heavy laden. Isn't that us? Aren't we a bit weary and heavy laden? He says, and learn from me, because I'm gentle and humble in heart. Bring that burden and let me have it. You need to learn from me. I'm gentle and I'm humble. And I thought, wow, that's great. So if that tone you're feeling and tone you're hearing toward yourself, or even you may even think it's just on the inside. But if what you're feeling isn't gentle and humble, it's not from God. It's not from God. And we need to ask him, let me hear your voice. Let me hear what you're like. Let me hear your tenderness, your gentleness, your mercy, your humility, because that's how he is. Jesus came here not because he needed anything from here, but because he wanted to do everything for us. He gave everything, his life included, for us. And he says, hey, this is who I am. This is how I'm like. Don't look to yourself to try to find it. Don't try to be perfect in your own. That'll never work. Look to me. I've given you a perfect standing. I took away everything that wasn't working. I bring you in and I give you as a free gift of my grace everything that's good. So let him be that. So you want to be around the right people. You want to have the right self-talk, and then you want to know how God really sees you and how he's really talking, and just invite him to be that voice on the inside that drowns out the other voices. So this is quite an issue, this perfectionism, and I just wanted to talk about it just in brief today because it's something that so many of us struggle with. It's a big burden that we carry, and it's a lot of bad emotions that go along with it that make us feel bad, make us feel like we can't and we're not enough. And that's just a lie. And I just want to expose that and let you know, hey, if you're struggling with this, you're in good company, because a lot of us are. And a lot of people give into it. They become addicted to things to make them feel better. They try to escape from it. They do all sorts of things because they don't know how to deal with these feelings that they have that they don't measure up. But the ones who are moving forward, and I hope I'm one of those, and I hope you are too, we can move forward. We can support each other. We can remind each other of the truth and be that voice of acceptance and encouragement, and remind each other of God's voice of acceptance and encouragement. And I hope that that is the case for you today. If I can help in any way, please feel free to reach out. I'm at jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com. That's JEFF@JEFFBYRDCOACHING.com. Jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com. So thank you so much for joining. I hope that this is helpful to you. I hope that this is a little touch that can put some of those right voices in there, the voice of gentleness, humility, mercy, grace, because at the end of the day, none of us have it together. None of us are perfect, nor can we be. And that's exactly what we need. Thanks so much. Hope you have a great day. Until next time, God bless you.